I am the Dollar Sportsman. Thank you for watching today. We have got part 2 of can you use a Gauntlet 30 stock, completely stock out of the box, in a competition. So in our last video, we did bench rest, which frankly is not my game, but we did it anyway, and we could see the results. Now we're going to do speed and see the pros and cons, and we're also going to do precision, as in PRS NRL 22 style match, where you get 10 to 12 shots in 2 minutes, and you've got to be accurate. So let's take a look, let's see what happens, let's go to the range. A very special thank you to Zan for always sponsoring our videos. I didn't know this would be a 2-part, so yeah, there you go. If you need some Zan slugs or pellets, 30 cal pellets, for example, for the Gauntlet, there's a link below. Take a look. Now the question is, what about steel? What about PRS or speed? Well, let's test it and find out. Okay, so I've got a speed challenge set up at 50 yards. This is a bit tricky because they're 1-inch targets at 50 yards. Generally in the speed challenge, they are a bit bigger than that. So this is going to be a little bit slower because I've really got to think about the target and getting dead on. All right, so here we go. Shooter ready, and we're going to go for the blue first, then the unpainted, and then the top. And go. Okay, let's go ahead and swap out the mag. Come on! Took too many shots. 2 more in the first mag, I think. Oh, and I knocked it over. Fine. Oh, that was silly. Okay. Just checking. All right. So, that's interesting. So I am down to like 2,000 PSI. The regulator is set larger than that. So here's what happened. In those 14 shots, going fast, I started to change my trajectory a little bit. So I started about 1/2 mil high and was dead on, dead on, dead on. And then I started to lose it a bit. I don't know if what exactly caused that. I did only start with something like 3,600 PSI in this. So when you do it, you probably want to have a tank that's absolutely full, like 4,500 PSI, fill the bottle all the way. I'm just getting low on air from shooting out here today. But I was 1/2 mil low by the end of it. Once I figured that out, I knew where to hit, and you could see the results. So that's interesting. So it's it has a bit of a change of trajectory, fast shooting as we're getting out there at like 50 yards on a 1-inch target. That could change your game, right? So precision or whatever you're doing. Speaking of precision, it's time to try that. So I've got a range set up. I've got targets. I'm going to set back up the 50-yard target because I want that in it. But I've got targets at 75 yards, or no, I'm sorry, 70, 85, and 100 yards. We're going to see if we have any sort of dope. I'll confirm dope with a full tank here first, so I know what my dope is since I haven't, done this before with this. And then we're going to shoot off of a ladder and off of another kind of barricade. So let's do it. All right, we've got that 5-inch target at 100 yards. 3-inch target at 85 yards. I believe that top spinner is also 3 inches at 70 yards. And then 1-inch targets at 50 yards. All right, guys, I've got this set up. I brought a second air tank out. I am now at about 3,900 PSI. During the speed, I was only 3,400 starting. That's why we had a change in trajectory. So you have to have a full air tank if you're going to do it. Then it'll stay accurate. You should be fine, but don't have a low air tank or it won't work out. So this is as much air as I've got right now. We're gonna do our best here, but we've got our range here. I've got the ladder and I've got my Athlon tripod. So here's the idea. 3 shots at the 100-yard target from the bottom rung. 3 shots at the 85-yard target from the middle rung. 3 shots at the 70-yard target from the top rung. And then 3 shots at our 50-yard 1-inch target from the Athlon. So, oh boy. We are going to time 2 minutes because that's the standard for PRS style shooting. And begin. Let's see if my bag will even fit on here. It's a little bit large. Okay. 100-yard target. Impact. 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 All right. 80-yard target. Impact. Miss. Miss. Okay. 70-yard target. Top rung's not going to work. There's not enough space there. So we're going to do this. Where's the 70? There it is. Impact. Miss. Impact. That was a skim packed. All right. 50-yard. Miss. Shooting for the second one on the left. Miss. And missed the 3. Okay, we'll figure out what my time was, but I'm just curious if I lost. Oh, there's my time. Okay, so there we go. Close target evaded me. I was unstable. So, and my air is down to about 2,800. What's interesting is when I confirm the dope, I'm using chair gun now because Strelok is no longer accessible. So chair gun's dope was actually dead on with how I set it up. I confirmed the dope and it was perfect, but there was some wind that I didn't account for. And the wind is starting to pick up now that it's getting cooler. Is it accurate enough to do PRS? I think so. I think so. I don't know if I lost too much air pressure there at the end for the 1-inch. I think it's more me. And PRS shooters are probably looking at me going, your bag was laying off to the side, you weren't steady, you weren't solid, and they're right. All right, guys, so for competition, could you use the Gauntlet? Yes, of course you could. It's gonna take tuning though. You don't have enough air to really go a long distance. With the 100-yard range, you have to down tune it. From the box, it's very powerful, which is nice. But for getting that teeny tiny little target at that distance, you have to tune it down a bit in order to get the extra pellet stability that you need, right? For speed, you've got to have a full tank, 4,500 PSI. If you have a full tank, then yes, you can do speed. It's something like RMAC. EBR in the Pyramid Air Cup, I don't believe so. You got to have more air and basically bigger magazines or you're just not going to be able to compete there. That EBR regular class though, which is single load anyway, you might be able to compete. Not sure, your air is still going to struggle with that. But at RMAC, I believe that you can. PRS, definitely. I believe that you can. Again, you need to have a full tank of air, absolutely full, in order to keep the consistent point of impact. So at our long shots, it was dead money, man. We were shooting that steel like it was nothing. But at the close range, I couldn't hit that 50 yard. And when I verified it after the fact, I had a little bit of a point of impact change because by then I was getting a little bit low on air. So once again, with down tuning, you would be better off. I highly recommend. Is it accurate enough? Yes, 100%. But you have to figure out a way that you have more air for your shots. Otherwise, you start to get a point of impact shift. So if you are a newbie and you've got a Gauntlet 30 side lever for speed or PRS, I wouldn't recommend the bolt for that. You could do it, but side lever's faster and that's what you need. Then yes, 100% come out and compete. Find your local NRL 22 match, bring it out, bring a full air tank, and maybe even two, because you're gonna need as much air as frickin' possible, and have fun. You could do it. Now me personally, do I compete with the Gauntlet? No, I don't. I actually have more expensive rigs now, and I like them, so I compete with them. They have the air, they are big magazines, you know, that's just what I do. But if you're a newbie, you could absolutely do this. However, the bench rest, you're really gonna have to tune that. It does have significant bounce, I've noticed as well. When I was shooting that, just how it's tuned now. If you down tune it, you may get rid of that bounce and you may be super accurate at 100 yards with it. But that's up to you. I am the Dollar Sportsman. Thank you guys for watching. This has been fun. I enjoy shooting. If you enjoy shooting, pick you up a Gauntlet, get you a good scope, and one with more magnification, by the way, if you're gonna do bench rest. But for PRS, this wasn't bad. Go have fun. Go have fun. It's worth it. 500 bucks gets you shooting with the Gauntlet, and then of course you need a scope and an air tank, and it can go up from there. But 500 bucks for a really good, accurate gun, it's good. Now, I want to go find that rabbit that I saw before I started filming and have me some rabbit for dinner. I'm the Dollar Sportsman.